Yeah, I ranted a little bit about Chrono Trigger. It just bugs me. And, like, from one perspective, there is actually some rationale. Like, the Masamune was created by the red knife, which was made of dreamstone, stabbing into the Mammoth machine, which was infused with the power of Lavos. So if we assume that Lavos is the essence of all evil in the world, which he's not, then you could make the argument that his power was infused in the sword and so forth and so on. But or also you can make the argument that, like, you know, the reason the Masamune was glorious in Chrono Trigger was because Frog was using it, and with anyone else it could have been a problem. But it's just so, I feel like it's such a leap to just suddenly say, no, it's evil, it's all bad. Alright, episode starts shortly. Welcome back, everyone. I'm the MoeChicken, and we are back with more Radical Dreamers. As you can see, I've already made it up to the first floor, and we're going down the hallway to try to get to the old dusty door on the right, which is the storeroom. And I believe we found a sword here before, so let us go and check it out. Oh my goodness, excuse me. The room is quiet, except for the sounds of gears. There's no sign of the hooded lady anywhere. We rush over towards the sword. Looking down at it, Nagel starts to speak. This may be what we're looking for. By the looks of it, this sword could be the fabled Holy Einlanzer, or perhaps the glorious Masamune. Okay, so here's another thing. I know that Masamune here is a reference to the sword, the swordsmith Masamune. I always pronounced it Masamune, and it's a Western style longsword. I'm gonna keep calling it the Masamune. I'm sorry if that drives you up the wall, because things like that drive me up the wall too. So apologies. Well, Maggle, you know about the Masamune? Ooh, that's a lot of dots. Did you ever know its owner? Yes. Was he your mate? So he was one of your enemies then? No. Aww. That's kind of nice. That's kind of a nice little thing. Well, hey, Serge, look, take this thing. Huh? Come on, you don't expect a fair maiden like me to carry this bulky old thing all over the place, do you? Well... Fair maiden? Ooh, without a moment's notice, kid punches me straight in the stomach. I tumble to the ground in a daze. Game over. What are you doing? Kid snorts, turning the other way. I look over to Maggle for sympathy, but he offers none, as usual. Hurry up and take it, Serge. It'll be morning soon, you dummy. I start to my feet, reluctantly picking up the sword. Jeez, this thing is heavy. Alright, let's get our asses to that bloody torture chamber. You can always smell the frozen flame from here. Why? It's not there. I struggle to drag the heavy sword out of the room, still dizzy from the blow. I wonder if I actually took damage for that. Like, I don't think that most of the like little color choices like that can really hurt you. I think only like monster encounters can hurt you, but it would be funny if that actually does damage to you. That's actually the first time I've ever done that. Usually I'm nice, but I was like, oh, I'll just go along with it. Let's go ahead and insult Kid a little bit. No, we're going up the stairs. Not going back in there, we're going up the stairs. Climb the stairs! Why are the stairs damp? I guess if we assume that this is in the El Nido Triangle, maybe tropical humidity? Not really sure. Alright, inside we go. I look up, remembering the deadly ceiling. I'm definitely not going to repeat the mistake of overstaying my welcome here, especially after hearing what Riddell had to say. Somewhere inside this room, there has to be something that will bring that old man back. But what? Just as I thought, Maggle says dryly, examining the cracks in the floor. Kid and I walk over, kneeling down where he's at. Between the cracks between the floor's stones, there's a thick, smelly, butter-like substance that's been jammed into it, along with stains of blood. Ew? Alright, what? What was that? Without warning, the door suddenly slammed shut. Oh, cool. It started again. Okay, what do we do? I don't know. Use the Einlanser. Make Einlanser work. I have a sword. We have to use the sword somehow, Kid yells, her voice almost inaudible thanks to the ceiling's deafening screeching. But how? Let's do the cool thing. There's the sword at the kid. No. Into the floor. With as much power as I can muster, I lift the heavy sword up and plunge it down into a crack in the center of the floor, into the smelly, butter-like substance. A huge jolt runs through the room. Bolts of light scatter in all 4 directions from the sword, running along the floor, then up the walls. Reaching the ceiling, the deadly contraption groans and comes to a halt. So that's how you have to shut it off every time you want to do that. You have to bring the eyelids up and stab the floor. Stab the butter. That's how you stop the ceiling. Exhausted and relieved, I collapse to the floor. After a minute, I catch my breath and open my eyes. Strange. Now that I take another look at the inscription we found earlier, there's a certain stone just beside it that doesn't seem to have any cement around it. We walk over to it. Kid tugs on it and finds that it's loose. Removing that heavy stone, a dim, glistening light can be seen from far within the hole. Kid reaches in and carefully removes a shimmering object. A beautifully decorated gold ring sits in the palm of her hand. It's adorned with a slender set of leaves, like those of a fern, decorated with 5 small rubies around it. The Acacian coat of arms, Maggle says. Kid tries the ring on, but strangely enough, it doesn't seem to fit any of her fingers. I don't know who's saying this. Oh, this ring must mean something to the old man. We could use it to break through the seal, break through his wall, couldn't we? I excitedly ask Maggle, already knowing his answer. He nods in silence. Yeah, this has to be it. I found a ring. Abandoning the Einlanser, now proudly standing upright like a beacon of light amidst this dismal room, not pictured here, we hurry out of the torture chamber, hopefully never to return again. Goodbye, Einlanser! You were so important! Wasn't it worth ruining the reputation of the Masamune just for that one scene? Isn't that right, Masato? I'm so bitter, I'm sorry. With Kid leading the... There are other things about Chrono Cross that I actually do like. I shouldn't get into it. I won't get into it. Chrono Cross to me has always been a great tragedy. In many ways. And someday I'll probably complain about it somewhere else. But anyway. No, we're going downstairs. Terrace, yes, we have a long way to walk again. Long way to walk. I guess while we're walking, I could explain what I mean. In brief, this is the episode where I complain about Chrono Cross, I guess, because I have to walk for a ways. Chrono Cross was one of those games that I was extraordinarily excited about when it first came out, because I loved and still love Chrono Trigger a great deal, and I was elated at the prospect of there being a sequel to it, you know? And, it just... There were so many things, like, there was so much potential there for it to be a really amazing sequel. But in my opinion, and again, as I always say, this is subjective. I'm walking down the steps backwards while rubbing Maggle's chest as we do this. It's very important to know that. It weirds him out every time. Chrono Cross has so many things about it which are great. There are a lot of really positives to the game. There are a lot of positives to the game. Archer on the left. But there are also equally as many negatives which just damage the overall effect in ways that, to me, make it frustratingly, like, just a tragedy. It's just a tragedy. It could have been great. It could have been a contender. But instead, it's a mess. It's a sad mess. Oh, I feel sad whenever I think about it. It's like Xenogears. You ever played Xenogears? That's another sad mess. Xenogears could have been all... Xenogears was supposed to be Chrono Trigger 2. It was supposed to be what Chrono Cross was. But then it didn't. It made its own game, and then they cut its budget halfway through, and the second disc is a mess. Oh my gosh. The PlayStation was a sad era for some games. Alright, we may... Wait, what? No! Doggone it. I didn't mean to turn back. Why is turn back the default option? when you encounter a door. No, I want to go. I want to turn around. We're just doing shuttle runs back and forth through the catacombs again. Useless. All right. Yeah. Go in the door. Why is turn back the default? So dumb. I'm all complainy right now. I'm sorry. We'll get over it. We return to the old man. Mago walks up to the cell and grasps the iron bars. He positions his feet and starts to pull away at the bars with an incredible intensity. Oh! After a moment, the bars begin to bend like taffy. He used iron to taffy spell. Maggle enters first through the newly created opening. Kid follows, kneeling down before the mumbling old man. Putting her hands on the old man's shoulders, Kid tries to look into his eyes, but he continues to stare at the floor. Frustrated, she starts to shout at him, shaking him vigorously. Come on, old fella, get up! The old man's head shakes back and forth like a rag doll's, but his eyes remain averted. Stop, Kid. I come between Kid and the old man. Kid looks at me with straightforward eyes. Don't get in the way, Serge. Kid, look at him, I say. Being agitated is the last thing he needs right now. After I'm done with him, this old geezer's gonna be brimming with old stories. As Kid shifts her weight onto the other knee, suddenly the Acacian ring falls out of her pocket. It falls down to the ground, bouncing once, twice, 3 times a lady, and comes to a stop right before the old man's eyes. Trying to get Kid to calm down, I signal for her to look over at the old man, who's now smiling faintly. The ring. My precious, he says in a voice so quiet it's barely audible. However, his eyes quickly return to their murky state. Finally, my allies have returned. Because of me, the frozen flame was seized, and I have desecrated the name of the Acacia Dragoons. I am the only one left, but you have returned. Ah, Merkid, Zorander, now that we are once again reunited, let us all head back to Stike Lake. Jeez, listen, mister, the frozen flame, where is it? Any small hint will help, come on. Frozen flame? The old man asks. A warm smile streaks across his face. Ah, my dear Miss Riddell, I have not seen you in quite some time. Surely you have not forgotten the secret entranceway. Yeah. You think you could tell me about that again, Gramps? Kid asks, trying to sound as ladylike as possible. In the ballroom. The 3rd candlestick on the left. Kid hugs the old man ecstatic, and so he resumes his mumbling because hugs make him put up his wall again, and in that distant, shuddering voice. Please forgive me. For your father. I beg you, Riddell. The dragoons. It's high time for you to bust on out of here, old man, Kid says, pointing to the bent iron bars. However, he once again refuses to look up. Come on. We've done all we can do here. He's got to walk through those bars himself. Thanks, old-timer. You good, bro? You good? Good. We helped a bro. All is well, we helped a bro. Heading away from the catacombs, we eventually come to a split. Turning right heads back to the atrium, while proceeding straight through will take us to a downward staircase. Well, we're going to the atrium, because we gotta go back to the first floor. Gotta go back some more. Oh, the pungent odor of dead fish. Love it, love it. In front of us, we see a weird naked baby. So go up the stairs. Going through the room. There we go. Oh, suddenly, Kid come to a stop. Something ain't right. Hearing this, I immediately unsheath my knife. I try to look ahead and behind, but all I can see is darkness. Wait, what was that? Up ahead, it looked like part of the wall moved? Yeah, right there. One of the square tiles is moving right in front of my eyes. Oh, wait a second. That's not a tile at all. It's armor. Hey, over there, Mr. Goblin! Kid shouts. Come on, Kid. It looks awfully big. It does look awfully big for a goblin. Having been discovered, the massive goblin squares off with us, coming into full view. Uh-oh. Oh, it's got friends. 2 sets of footsteps behind me make me realize they amount to 4 in all. That's only 3. I keep my focus on the 2 in front of me. Why is there another one? Well, Michael turns to face the rear. How could things this so large camouflage themselves so well? That's a good point. Readying my knife, I set my sight on the goblins before me. They've certainly got us in a pinch. They've already blocked off all the escape routes in this tight corridor. We'll have to fight our way out of this one. Michael begins to confront the rear pack while Kid rushes the front 2, knife in hand. I rush out with her, hurling myself into the action. One of the goblins whips its morning star out, swinging its spiked arm ball down at me. Whoa! I nearly miss it, leaping to the side at the last possible second. It comes crashing down, shattering the stone floor underneath it in a cloud of dust. Beside me, Kid leaps nimbly into the air, dodging a close attack. The scene here has been reduced to a barrage of weapons and chains, flying through the air, thick with the dusty haze of shattered stone flooring. Looking over towards Kid, a glimmer of light flashes before me. And there, in front of us, a knife has suddenly been implanted deep into a goblin's left eye. Writhing in pain, the goblin hits the ground. I try not to look at it, keeping myself focused on the fight. There's no doubt, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, are words she lives by here in the thick of combat. Without a single problem handling herself, Kid's truly unnatural. Another one of the goblins draws near soon after, already wildly swinging its morning star above its head. I'm gonna do what Kid would do. That's right. If Kid can do it, so can I. On the verge of its attack, I confront the goblin with my knife ready. It hurls its morning star down at me. I leap to the side, thinking to myself, it's now or never. The goblin is busy trying to bring its morning star out of the rubble, leaving me wide open for my attack. I hurl the knife at it as hard as I can. All right, I did it! A wave of adrenaline runs through my body as I watch the goblin scream in agony, with my knife sticking out of its right eye. Oh, mate, did you do that? Kid's praise rings through me, filling me with a rush of power. I love Kid so much. Now quit standing around. We're fighting here. Damn it, I was just thinking about how great you are. Get out there and fight, mate. She's right. I leap back into the frenzy just as the goblin painfully pulls the knife out of its eye and tosses it aside. Ow! And he pulls the knife out and he eats his eyeball just like Chow doing. In desperate attempt to get my knife back, I make a dive for the knife far in the corner, but now the goblin's all but cornered me off. Picking the bottom chain up off the floor, the ferocious goblin starts to charge me, screaming at the top of its lungs. I don't have my knife, though. Yeah, that. I chuck my knife at the goblin, sending it spinning through the air, aimed directly for its face. I don't know why I have my knife, but I do. Oh, gross. The knife's been planted deep into the goblin's left eye. Dude's blind now. It growls in pain, desperately trying to remove the thing from its skull. He's like, I thought you already pulled this out. I gotta eat another eyeball. Seeing an opportunity, I bolt towards the towering beast, slipping by its side and snatching its mace. The goblin turns its bloody head towards me as it pulls the dagger out of its eye, tossing the puny weapon at its side. Aiming for its face again, I swing the heavy weapon outward. A horrible sound echoes throughout the corridor as the goblin's face is turned into a putrid mess. With its skull utterly shattered, the hulking beast falls to the floor, dead. Seems to be the last of them. I was the only one fighting, apparently. Apparently everyone else was done. Looking around, I straightened my shirt and let out a deep breath. Cool. I really think I'm starting to get the hang of this whole fighting thing. I'm barely hurt at all. Damn it, Serge, when are you gonna bloody grow up and start fighting like a man? I'm getting really good at fighting. You're terrible at fighting. Oh. Kid's glare shoots through me like an icy lance. I swallow a dry gulp and continue down the corridor behind her. What did I do wrong, Kid? You threw a knife into his left eye, or his right eye. No. His left eye was impaled twice, because she first threw a knife in his eye, then I threw a knife in the other eye, then she threw a knife in his, and then I threw a knife in his third left eye, and then smashed his face. So, I think I did good. That's where we're going to end it for tonight. I am the MoeChicken. This is Radical Dreamers, and thanks for stopping by.